I know we spoke about de-stress when it launched, didn't we?
Yes, and I've become such a lover of it. So
oh, fantastic.
Yes,
what shade do you wear? Do you wear Claire?
Lucy.
You wear Lucy, do you? It's amazing how our communications make our skin look lighter.
Yeah.
Because I wear Lucy, but I look at you and I think your skin's a little bit lighter, but it looks great.
Hard to tell.
All right, darling. I'm going to do my makeup when I talk to you because I have to get ready and then do some meetings. So I hope you don't mind. But
that's absolutely fine. And I've got my products here to play with too. So
yeah, what do you want to go through today?
Well, I'd love to know a little bit to start with. I know you've launched a whole lot of new shades. And I was curious how you, obviously you take your inspiration from the Trinny tribe for your new shades. How does all that play out?
I don't actually take my inspiration from the Trinny tribe for the new shades.
Oh, there you go. Well, I was wrong.
I think it's a different way. It's not like Glossier into the gloss. You know, we listen to our community and we make what they want. I take inspiration from them in so much that I think, what do they need next? You know, and then with all the conversations we have, I think, what can I give them that will be a solution? You know, so it's not like they say, will you go and make this? They didn't say, will you go and make de-stress? I just was thinking, you know, I feel the stress on my skin. I want to find solutions and ingredients that will help it. So I make it. Yeah. So I feel it's something they will need. So it's that kind of journey. And then we take inspiration when we name shades that they inspire. So since I last spoke to you, we launched Sharon. And that was really inspired by the Trinny tribe, because Sharon is a Trinny tribe member and she was, you know, she has terminal cancer and has been on a really tough journey. And I found her very inspiring, and we sort of communicate quite a lot. She then did these little stickers, you know, that we put on with the product. And we said to her, we didn't tell her we were going to make stickers, but I said, will you write some things that you think are really important for women to remember? So we made all these stickers. So, you know, this one is I always have on my mirror, but there's a different one when you get Sharon. And this one is hold today close, breathe.
Oh, lovely.
You know. So that's what I mean probably by inspiration.
Yes. Okay. So you take it from all places and people and
exactly all places and people. And, you know, we've got things coming out, you know, always things coming out, but through the year we have range extensions. So I'm always thinking, okay, what do we not have covered? We've got around every single category. There is something for every single skin shade.
Now, in recent years, obviously, you've become very into your skincare, and I know that your friend Carolyn Hirons often says that you'll use everything on your face. You have a really tough skin barrier, which is very lucky you. Are there any products that you return to consistently, even when you're testing new things?
That I turn to consistently. I have a regime which I follow quite stringently. So many people throw out there to people all these ingredients and all these, you know, layerings. And I think it's in a way made people more confused. So I just wanted to do a thing where I said, okay, here's 3 different price points. And I'm going to do a really basic regime, an intermediate regime, and an advanced regime. So I started that one yesterday, just because I thought we need to take a step back and be really clear. You know, so what's a basic regime for somebody to me is cleansing with a gel or balm. It's having an all-in-one serum, and it's having SPF that's hydrating. That to me is like your most basic. If you don't do anything, do that. But then all-in-one serums, as you, I'm sure know, and I know, don't give you high levels of each of those ingredients. So the sort of intermediate level for me is that you still do the cleanse and the gel, and maybe you actually start to do double cleansing. Then you break out that all-in-one, and maybe you're going to do, to me, it would be a hyaluronic and a vitamin C next. And then you're going to do a sort of barrier moisturizer and then an SPF. So that's kind of intermediate.
Okay.
And then an advanced regime would be that you bring in probably a daytime toner. So not AHA maybe, but maybe a PHA. Yeah. Just something that kind of in between your cleansing and your serum, you prep the skin, you do a gentle morning exfoliation, and then you might have an essence that you might put on at some stage between perhaps your, you know, after you've done your serums, before you do a retinol or something, you know, just like to break up things. And you might have a spritz, and you might have a twice a week granular exfoliation. So that to me is kind of the progression. Now, all the other things I do, like microneedling and tools, I feel you need to build up to, like whenever I talk about microneedling. And I think there's definitely a place for microneedling at home. A lot of sort of expert dermatologists would, or skincare experts say, oh no, it should just be with a dermatologist. All I can say is I know from experience, if you build up gently and you do that gentle feathering microneedling and you start with 0.2, you go on to 0.5 after 6 months, you change your needles regularly, you do it maximum twice a week, then afterwards you can begin to use serums that penetrate well. So, you know, if you're doing that regime, I would start off with something very gentle that doesn't upset the skin, like a peptide, which if it can go deeper works even better. You might, if you have targeted pigmentation, then a few months later be doing microneedling and put your vitamin C on afterwards in that targeted area just to break the pigmentation a bit. So I think everyone can get to a stage of better skin. Any skin with sensitivity you can get rid of. And I find that very refreshing, because a lot of people who feel they are drowned in rosacea or redness, I'm not talking about extreme psoriasis and things, but I'm talking about rosacea. I'm talking about those levels of redness. And then looking at internally, what can you change in your diet to reduce that inflammation? And externally, what can you do to help to reduce the inflammation? So I love that journey as well. Medik8 is very good for retinol. And I think they take you on a good journey, because you can start with a retinol crystal, which is a 2, 4, 6, 8. And then there's a 20, which is, and it says on the packaging, only for experienced retinol users. And I think that education is good. So I like what they do. I think that something like Indeed Labs has a really nice intro retinol. It's soft, it doesn't flake. I think there's brands like Skin and Me and Dermatica that do those, you know, slightly subscription level retinols.
Yes.
And you will flake with those products because they are a purer form of vitamin A.
What about devices like, you know, microcurrents?
I love them.
Yeah.
And there again, I also disagree. So I do think that you can use home devices, but if you buy it and it's an investment, you need to use it like 3 times a week. You know, otherwise don't bother getting it. Don't bother wasting your money on $400 to get it.
That's true.
And then I think microcurrents, like, or radio frequency either, but with the kind of the new face or with the Face Gym Pro, you know, I use those every other morning, and I do that, and I go up to my eyebrows and I do that. And on weeks that I forget, I notice that sagging. So although it's temporary, I will see that difference. And if I do it every 3 days, it will keep that difference up. So it's about what bothers you, isn't it? It's always about what bothers you.
When you look in the mirror, what do you look at first? Is there something that you're always looking at and thinking, oh, I need to do a bit of that or a bit of this?
I'm looking at how tired I look. Because I never look at my face and think I look old. Anti-aging, youthful, and, you know, that. I just think they're so demeaning to women. It's like we are the age we are. So when I look in a mirror, I want to say, I want to look full of energy and life.
Well, as we travel down the path of life, I love the way you call it that.
As we travel down the path of life. So what can I put on my face that will give me that look?
Can you ever imagine a time when you're not working as hard? Would you be happy pottering around in a house in the country, or will you always be wanting to create and do?
I went out for dinner a few nights ago with some founders, and I never do this. I haven't done this like for 5 years. And on my right, I had a woman who founded Just Giving, and she had sold it. And then on my left, I had the guy who founded Calm. So it was really interesting just hearing all their different stories, because Nicola's now, you know, grown 2.2 billion, 75% owned by Estee Lauder Group. There's a part of me that thinks I'll be in this business till I'm 90. I couldn't bear not to be inspired by a career. But then I think careers can evolve, and I think careers go in 10-year cycles. So I don't know. I don't feel I'm somebody who's going to build a business and leave it quickly. But I love it, you know, and I've got so many more categories I want to bring out. So that's going to take me a few years.
Yeah, you are an integral part, you know, I can't imagine it without you. So yeah, you'll be busy. You'll be busy for a while yet.
Very nice to connect with you again.
Lovely to see you again.
Enjoy your lockdown.
And we'll see you
soon. All right, darling.
Soon, I hope.
Bye-bye.
Okay, bye.